What is up, everybody? It is me, the Polar Express 1220 Productions here, and welcome to another live stream while I'm just sitting here on my bed, just talking to everybody. Ay, yay, what a day it has been for me. Well, this live stream is going to be a filler for me since, well, I'm waiting until Q decides to stream later today. So I'm just going to be talking to you guys until, well, he streams. I'm just seeing until when Ben is gonna come in, because he didn't leave a message 13 hours ago anyway. Well, let me just play a game while you guys are trying to get in here. Alright, you're going to be playing. Oh wait, let me just get rid of that crap. Hold on. There it is. Alright, there we go. We're gonna be playing this game called Burnout City. And I'll be driving a Formula 1 car. And I'll just be speeding around town. Hold on, let me stop. There we go. Ay. Anyway. Alright. Well, let's just get into playing this game. Now, it might take a little bit to load, but meh, who cares? This stream's just gonna be a filler until Q starts streaming. Oh, let me just refresh. There we go. And this is where I make all my stuff here. Oh, yeah, I gotta make something for Jude. Hold on. Let me just pull it up real quick. There we go. There we go. There's that. Now I'm just going to change the color to blue. Done. Do, 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 do. Done. Do, 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 do. Anyway, so I wonder what I'm going to be doing now. Since now I already finished Jude's thing that he asked me to do. Well, we're going to be watching a little bit of QMA's videos while he waits. My own videos, I guess. I don't know. Alright, hold on, let me just pull it up real quick. Alright, there we go. Man, I just wonder what has gone between Cole and Joseph. I mean, I just don't get why they have to fight. I mean, it's just so complicated. Like, why in the world does Joseph think I was trying to replace him? I was trying to give him a favor when he was the mayor. He's probably never gonna understand it anyway. Yeah, Joseph's such a dumb idiot. I mean, like, he always gets into trouble, and then he tries to blame it on everybody else, which is kind of stupid, honestly. Oh my god, he is such an idiot. God, he is such an idiot. I mean, like, what point does he have the authority to blame on everybody else, like Q, me, or Ben? I mean, like, I just don't get it, honestly. Like what? Like, what's the point of him getting us into his mess when it's not even our fault? And he has to figure it out on his own. Like, he does have to rely on us for help. I mean, that's babying him around. Like, he does have to rely on us for help. I mean, that's babying him around. So, let's just keep reacting to videos. And I know I have a couple that I'm gonna react to. And this one is by LA Productions, and this one's called The Most Entertaining NASCAR Season. So, let's watch it.
To most people, this is all that NASCAR is. Just cars. Going in circles. For hours and hours and hours. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just go out on the interchange and watch the same thing for free. So what's the appeal? The truth is, it isn't the cars that draw people in so much as the people driving them. And around the early 2000s, those drivers like Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett, and Terry Labonte were overrun by a new wave of young talent. And about midway through the decade, stock car racing hit its crest in popularity, rivaling baseball, basketball, and even football in TV ratings. It truly was a golden age for NASCAR, and surely the best was yet to come. Jimmy Johnson still the guy to beat. Jimmy Johnson, the California kid. That's the way you get the victory lane.
Good old seven-timer.
Dominance, while beholden by the future, can make things dreary in the present. Am I solely blaming Jimmy Johnson for NASCAR's downfall? What I'm saying is that during the Brady Warriors went on their tear, ratings for the NBA Finals did just the same. A sport doesn't need parity for it to exist, but it does need it to thrive. And unfortunately, a half-decade of the same car winning week in and week out was too much for the end of 2010. NASCAR had lost about half of its fan base. The task ahead was tall, but NASCAR knew they would have to take some major swings for the fences if they wanted to avoid falling into obscurity. And what would follow was the first constructive season for the sport since 2005. A year of fixes and feuds, of broken streaks and barn burners, of record breakers and first timers. And to cap it all off, the closest championship battle of the Chase era. So join me as we revisit the season that may have very well saved the sport.
And my favorite Daytona 500 is the 98 one with Dale Earnhardt finally won after 20 years.
While Jimmy Johnson and his stranglehold on the Cup championship didn't help, another thing that marred the
God, that thing looked
but these weren't working.
yeet in the billboard.
They were bulky. They were ugly. They looked nothing like an actual stock car, and worst of all, they took to the skies more than the Thunderbird. Thankfully, NASCAR already replaced the wing with a spoiler in early 2010. And in 2011, they would complete the design by sloping the body down to the splitter, making the car more aerodynamic. They also made some rule changes, simplifying the system so that one position now equals 1 point. They also forced drivers to declare
Busch
for just
could be
one
like-
championship, allowing the Nationwide and Truck Series to finally showcase the young talent they were designed to do. All of this, combined with the return of tandem drafting, the advent of driver-to-driver radios, and a newly renamed Daytona made for an interesting speed weeks. They would kick off with the Budweiser Shootout, where Denny Hamlin tried to pull a
And also in NASCAR, going below the double yellow line is illegal, and especially on the last lap. If you go below that line, you'll get penalized, and you'll not get credited for the win.
Side-by-side finishes. Then, 10 years to the day after his ambivalent 500 win, Michael Waltrip would once again find
and I met him at Dover in 2014. When I was at Dover for the Drive for Autism 400 at Dover.
Stewart to his fourth consecutive win in the Nationwide Series opener, which would end up being his 6th of 7 overall. And with that, the stage was finally set for the Super Bowl of stock
The Daytona 500.
On a picturesque petty blue day,
The great American race.
Daytona International Speedway for the 53rd running of the Great American Race. This field consisted of 13 champions, past and future, and in a race consisting of names like Dale Jr., Tony Stewart,
God, I love Dale Jr. He is such an awesome guy to talk to.
With a little more star power for their pre-race interview. But instead, they went with a 20-year-old kid from Knoxville, Tennessee, making just his second Cup Series start.
You know, we're all here to win, but I understand it's my first 500, and I have a lot to learn, but hopefully we get a Ford Motorcraft.
The number 21 will always be iconic.
As the pace car made its hard left onto pit road, DW would kick things off by
Let's go racing, boys!
Kurt Busch would lead the field around 2 circuits to lap number 3, a tribute for the late great Dale Earnhardt who died here 10 years before. Unfortunately, just 2 laps later, the driver who won on that infamous day would bring out the first caution.
While spinning to my favorite driver.
for a record-setting 74 lead changes, which meant that just about every 2 laps the lead would change hands. It also featured an estimated 9,051 passes, or about 61 passes made every single lap. And the last and probably worst record of this race, 16
Ouch.
You see, tandem drafting allowed drivers to get
Mm,
back
mm, mm,
and in turn that made it harder to block.
And that'll cause the big one. There goes Regan Smith.
Smith gets turned in front of Boyer and Newman and Hamlin.
With just 2 laps to go, Bain was supposed to lead the inside lane to the restart.
And also, if you jump the restart, you'll get penalized.
Take that honor himself.
For this to be a legal start, when he changes lanes, he has violated NASCAR procedure, and he'll get a black flag.
This left the Wood Brothers 21 in the lead for the final restart.
And
But they hadn't won a race in 10 years. And they were concerned that
man, that race at Daytona earlier, a couple months ago, that was awesome. By the way, got to see Harrison Burton get the win.
Cinderella would take that glass slipper and never look back.
Daytona 500.
With this win, Trevor Bayne would become the youngest Daytona 500 winner by a landslide and make the rest of us 20-year-olds feel like slackers in comparison. It also left the point standings looking like a decade before, with names like Bobby Labonte, Terry Labonte, and Bill Elliott sitting at the... It wouldn't be like that for long, however, as the circus moved on to Phoenix, where Jeff Gordon muscled Kyle Busch en route to a
The Wonder Boy.
They then hopped up north to Las Vegas, where Carl Edwards managed to outlast Tony Stewart.
Man, it sucks that he had not won a championship.
Then Edwards would go from victor to victor.
Rowdy Busch.
Watch Kyle Busch take his 5th victory at the last great Coliseum. They would then cruise back to the Californian coast, where it looked like it would come down to a battle between Busch and Jimmy Johnson. That is, until the closer lived up to his name.
Bakersfield basher Kevin Harvick pushing Jimmy Johnson around him to get the win. 29.
Apparently, one barn burner wasn't enough for him, as he would go on to deny Dale Jr. that long-awaited victory with just 4 laps.
And Dale Jr. did not get his next win until 2012
Another driver would, with Matt
because of him leaving DEI, which was his father's team, to go to Hendrick Motorsports.
competition.
Ugh.
An effective strategy to be sure, but notoriously inapplicable to the next track on the schedule.
Talladega, Alabama, baby.
The skies had cleared for another great day of superspeedway racing, and thankfully,
God, I
this
love
time around, there
Talladega.
weren't nearly as many cautions, but there would still be tandem drafting, lead changes of money, and those ever so entertaining driver-to-driver.
God, I always laugh at the driver radios. They were so funny. I'm going, damn it.
Towards the end, it was beginning to look like Dave Blaney could help kids eat free at Golden Corral. But as he got swallowed up by the competition, it quickly turned into anyone's race. And coming out of turn 4, nobody could have guessed what would happen next.
And Dale Jr. pushes Jimmy Johnson to his first win of the season. And the free wide photo finish at Talladega. And this was his first win since his record-breaking 5th championship in 2010.
One that could never be duplicated by any other kind of motorsport in the world. One that reminded us why we love watching cars drive in circles. And through all of the post-race pomp and circumstance, Jimmy Johnson his very first win of the season. His first since his record-shattering 5th
There you go.
championship the year prior. And one that would put him just 5 points behind the lead, Carl Edwards.
And during this time, Tony was sitting there and Stewart was sitting there in 12th.
To win his 2nd of the season and his 3rd Richmond race in a row. But in the week after, he would make headlines for a much different reason. A race that was on the chopping
Keep
block
that
not
noted.
a decade before, the Southern 500 had returned to glory as a crown jewel of auto racing. And with 10 laps to go, it looked like Carl Edwards had it on lock. That is until Jeff Burton hand-grenaded his way down.
Yeah, he blown his engine.
A 5-lap dash to the finish, but not before
Not another round of pit stops.
And while most opted to take tires, 3 cars stayed out, led by Regan
With
Smith.
Furniture Row Racing.
Single-car team Furniture Row Racing, a small team based out of Denver, Colorado, who had yet to even sniff victory. He also had the oldest tires in the field. That didn't faze him, as he would jump ahead of the field with an incredible restart. Carl Edwards, however, made short
He was hot on his
and
heels.
was closing in fast until
4 to go this time. 4 to go.
There goes Clint. And then Kyle Busch spins Kevin Harvick, which pisses him off.
Harvick in trouble, and Kyle Busch turned Harvick around after they had made contact half a lap before.
Yeah, I think something not quite right about that. I'd have to look at that another time or two.
this would lead to another restart, where Smith would leave the field in the dust, and to everyone's surprise, it would stay that way.
Here we come.
I'm still watching this race years later, and I'm happy to see that Regan Smith's getting that first Sprint Cup win in the Southern 500. And this time you got to keep it.
How about that? And Harvick and Bush. There goes his car.
Harvick, you kind of deserve that, buddy. I'm not gonna lie.
We've got cars overheated. We've got drivers overheated.
It truly was a miraculous upset, but overshadowing the Rocky Mountain win was the Bakersfield Basher, who didn't hold back come the next weekend at Dover.
500, baby. Things happen. Right. Things happen. Things happen. You know,
I just wish I could have punched him in the nose instead of the helmet.
Harv, settle down, son. Settle down. You were going after each other. Everything but punches.
Well, he's not going to get in a punching contest because he's.
And
scared
if
of
you
that.
piss off Kyle Busch, boy, he's gonna be at your front door tomorrow morning.
You and Kyle Busch, y'all don't like each other, do you?
Not really.
I mean, and that's not fake.
That's not fake.
Despite the pre-race chirping, the race would go off without a hitch, with Matt Kenseth once again whipping the field.
Yeet.
Then came the All-Star race, where another Roush driver would win the milk car.
Does he get the
Yeah, that is one destroyed car, Carl.
You can get behind that show car over there on pit road.
I don't think that's going to happen.
In your words, dadgum cars tore all to pieces.
Cars to all pieces.
Needless to say, he'd have a different car for the Coca-Cola 600, where it looked to be a battle of fuel conservation between.
And that's why I met Casey Kane also at Dover.
Following up is Jimmy Johnson.
Kidding me.
Biffle opted to play.
And also, that's Jimmy Johnson's crew chief, Jack House. And yes, he actually did say that.
Great restart. He's out of gas, and there they go.
And there goes Jeff Burton.
Lot of smoke.
They had a little bit of a wreck back there. No caution.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. out front. And he makes it. White flag. Next
And
flag.
Dale Jr. was so dang close to winning this race.
4 races since his last win.
It's been 3 years since he last won.
The most popular driver found victory lane. But on this night in Charlotte, the longest race of the year, Dale Jr. was finally going to break that winless streak.
Nope. And then Kevin Harvick took it from him.
And as that Indy, the leader at turn 4, does not get to the flag. Perfect, the closer, wins it.
In one of the most anomalous scenarios in racing history, on the same day that a National Guard sponsored JR would race
Ouch.
the Indy 500 on the final corner of the final lap, another National Guard sponsored JR would do the exact same thing in the Coca-Cola 600. Dale would end up returning to victory lane the following year, but for now, Junior Nation would be forced to wallow in what could have been. The following weekend at Kansas saw Brad Keselowski pick up his second Cup Series win. His first since his big win in Talladega, and his first in Roger Penske's Blue Deuce. But once again, the headlines would be stolen by none other than Rowdy Busch.
My
So
boy.
let's talk about the Candyman for a second, because not only had he purposefully wrecked Kevin Harvick at Darlington, but he also got a speeding ticket in a 45. His speed, 128 miles an hour.
Not in my town, you dope.
And then in Kansas, at the end of the truck race, Joey Coulter ran him out of room coming to the line. His response? Dooring him on the cooldown lap. Needless to say, people were getting fed up with young Shrub. And no one was more PO'd than longtime car owner Richard Childress. So after the race, he decided to pay Kyle a visit at his motorhome.
But according to an eyewitness, Bush was put into a headlock and punched several times by
Ouch.
Childress.
He'd end up being fined and put on probation, but in a roundabout way, he became an unsung hero, doing what most fans and fellow drivers wish they could have done. And come the following week at Pocono, a familiar foe would get in a few licks of his own.
Alright, I'm going to pause it for right there. So, my battery is about to die, but it will. Alright, I'm going to pause it for right there. So, my battery is about to die, but it will. We will react to that at a later date. We will react to that at a later date. So I can get my computer charged up, and then I could get that video out for you. So anyway, so this has been my live stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a filler one, so until QMA can get his live stream out, which is not gonna be for several hours yet. But I thought this was gonna be a fun way to chat with to get a video out for you guys. All right, I thought this was actually gonna be kind of fun to get a video out for you guys while we're waiting. Well. Gotta go, people. Later, peeps.